If you're a trade contractor and you're doing everything yourself, trying to stay above water, this video is for you. Whether you're an electrical contractor, a carpentry contractor, or a home improvement contractor, whatever your trade is, you didn't start this business to drown in paperwork, chase invoices, and answer emails at midnight. So let's talk about the solution that most guys in the trades don't even know exists. What's going on, everyone? My name is Joel Lipsky, construction business owner, advocate, and educator. I spent the last 20 years in the construction industry, on the job site, and in the trenches, building companies, leading teams, and learning lessons the only way it's earned in this business, through experience. I'm here to share tips, tricks, and hard lessons that I learned straight from the job site that allow me to run my construction company successfully. Not just how to build better projects, but how to build a better business. If you're a construction leader ready to operate with clarity instead of chaos, you're in the right place. Like, share, subscribe. Let's build something together. So let's talk about the realities of being a trade contractor. Here's where most trade contractors start. You're good at your craft, really good. So you go out on your own. You figure, I know my trade. I can outwork anyone. I'll figure the rest out as I go. And for a while, that works. You hustle, you grind, you outwork the pain. But then the business starts to grow. And suddenly, you're not just doing the work. You're scheduling jobs, writing estimates, chasing payments, answering calls, ordering materials, dealing with callbacks. You're doing everything all by yourself, all of it. And instead of feeling like a business owner, you feel like you're drowning. Does that sound familiar? Here's the truth. Most trade contractors believe they can out hustle their way out of that feeling. They think if they can just work harder, wake up earlier, stay a little bit later, they'll get ahead of it. But you can't outwork a broken system. You just can't do it. The problem isn't your work ethic. The problem is that you're doing $15 an hour tasks when your time is worth over $300 an hour. Every hour you spend on paperwork is an hour you're not on the job site. Every hour you're not on the job site, you're not making money. That's the real cost nobody talks about. So where do trade contractors actually fail? Part of what I do is mentor contractors. I've mentored hundreds of them over the years, and I see the same pattern over and over again. They know they need help. They feel it every single day, but they can't afford to hire someone full-time. Hiring a full-time office worker when you're already struggling to get by is a painful conversation to have. So what happens? The wife steps in. The spouse steps in out of necessity, not because it's the right business decision, but because someone has to answer the phone, someone has to send the invoices out, and someone needs to manage the job site. And listen, I am not knocking that. A lot of great companies were built with a spouse holding down the back office. I get it and I respect it. But here's the problem. It puts pressure on your relationship. It blurs the line between home and business. And most importantly, it's not a scalable solution. You need real support. But you think your only option is a full-time hire that you can't afford. And that's the gap. And that gap is exactly where trade contractors stay stuck. What most of them don't know, and what I'm here to tell you today, is that there's another option, one that has successfully worked for me, one that's worked for hundreds of contractors I've mentored over the years, virtual assistants. So what is a virtual assistant and why does it work for trade contractors? Let me break this down simply. A virtual assistant is a remote professional who handles specific tasks for your business. They are not on your job site. They are not in your office. They work remotely and they work exclusively for you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Joel, I'm a trade contractor. I need boots on the ground on the job site. How is someone remotely going to help me? Here's the answer. Your biggest problem isn't necessarily always on the job site. Your biggest problems are in the office. Missed calls, unread emails, estimates sitting unsent, invoices not followed up with, scheduling falling apart, paperwork just piling up. None of that requires someone standing next to you. All of that can be handled remotely by the right person with the right skills at a fraction of the cost of a full-time hire. That's the power of a virtual assistant for trade contractors. And here's what makes it even better. You're not paying a full-time salary. You're not paying the benefits. You're not dealing with HR headaches. You pay for what you need when you need it. For a trade contractor trying to stay above water, that flexibility is everything. Constantly being asked, What can a virtual assistant actually do for my trade contracting business? Here's what a virtual assistant can handle for trade contractors. Help with estimates and proposals. You're busy on the job site and estimates are sitting on your desk unfinished. Every day that estimate sits there, there's a job you're not winning. A virtual assistant helps you put together professional estimates and proposals, gets them out the door on time, and keeps you competitive. Document management and compliance, certificates of insurance, licenses, contracts, lien releases, all of the paperwork that comes with running a trade contracting business. A virtual assistant can keep it organized, keep it current, keep it documented, filed, and keeps you protected. Bookkeeping assistance. You are not an accountant, you're a contractor, but your books still need to be clean. A virtual assistant handles your bookkeeping, tracks your expenses, keeps your financials in order so you always know where you stand. Accounts receivable and accounts payable, money coming in, money going out. If you're not tracking both, you are flying blind. A virtual assistant manages your AR and AP, makes sure invoices go out on time, makes sure bills get paid, keeps your cash flow healthy. Marketing. Most trade contractors have zero marketing systems. If they don't know who you are, they are not going to hire you. A virtual assistant will help you build one and keep it current and fresh. Social media, another form of marketing. Like it or not, your customers are looking for you online before they call you. A virtual assistant manages your social media presence, keeps you active, keeps it professional, makes sure you show up when it matters. And here's a hint, your competition is already doing this. Scheduling, coordinating your crew, your jobs, your projects, and managing all those timesheets is a full-time position in most trade contractor businesses. A virtual assistant can help you manage all of that. They keep it organized, they keep it moving, no more double bookings, no more lost timesheets, no more drop balls. Every single one of those tasks I listed above, off your plate, done professionally, done consistently, at a cost that makes sense for where you are in your business, all performed by a virtual assistant. So let's talk about money because I know this is what's in your head right now. A full-time office employee in New York, I'm looking at 60, 70, even $80,000 a year, plus benefits, plus payroll, plus management time. A qualified virtual assistant, you're looking at a fraction of that cost. Depending on that role and the hours, you could be looking at less than even a quarter of that cost. And you scale up or down based on what your business actually needs. For a trade contractor doing $500,000 to $1 million a year in revenue, a virtual assistant could be the most profitable hire you ever make because the time that you get back goes directly into billable work. Think of it this way. If a virtual assistant costs you $2,000 a month, it frees up 40 hours of your time. What are you doing with those 40 extra hours a week? You're on the job site, you're meeting new clients, you're prospecting for new work, you're growing the business. That is not an expense, that's an investment. How do you know if you're ready for a virtual assistant? Here are the signs, and be honest with yourself. You're answering emails at 10 p.m. at night. You're missing calls during the day. Your estimates are late. Your invoices are inconsistent. Your scheduling is reactive, not proactive. Your spouse is helping you run the business out of necessity. If any of that sounds like you are ready. You don't need to be a big company. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be honest about where your time is going and what it's costing you. The contractors I mentored who made this move, they all said the same thing after. I wish I did this sooner. So how do you get started bringing a virtual assistant into your company? My first tip is keep it simple. Do not try and fix everything at once. That's how you stay stuck. You look at the whole list and you get overwhelmed and you do nothing. Instead, find your biggest pain, your biggest headache, the one thing that's keeping you up at night, the one thing that is absolutely driving you crazy and keeping you up. Think of it this way. Your company is a boat, and that boat has holes in it, multiple holes. And yeah, eventually you need to fix all of them. But right now, focus on the biggest one, the one letting in the most water, the one causing the most stress in your life. Is it scheduling? Is it invoices? Is it estimates? Is it missed calls? Whatever it is, that's where a virtual assistant should start. Fix the biggest hole first, get your head above water, then you can build from there. That's where most contractors struggle. They want a perfect system before they start, but you don't need perfect. You need progress. The moment you hand one thing off, that one painful, time sucking, sleep stealing task that's draining you every day, everything starts to shift. That's what I've seen over and over again with the trade contractors that I've mentored. Start with the one biggest hole, the rest will follow. Listen, if you're a trade contractor doing everything yourself, this is your sign. You cannot scale alone. You are never supposed to. The best contractors I know, the ones running real businesses, not just jobs, they all have support systems behind them. Virtual assistants are one of the most accessible and affordable ways to build that support system right now. It worked for me. It's worked for hundreds of contractors I mentored, and it can work for you. If you want to learn more about how virtual assistants can work specifically for your trade business, check the link in the description below. My team at Virtual Construction Assistants has helped contractors just like you get the back office support they need to actually grow and scale. If this video gave you value, like it, share it with a contractor who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more real talk about running a construction business. We're just getting started.